Hi, I'm LindaG, and this is Through the Studio Door. We are at the Sunset Marquis Hotel, and we are in Nightbird Recording Studios. My first guest, and this is the first podcast, is the Nicky Davey Band. Everybody give it up for Nicky Davey.
Yeah.
Tell me who's who.
I'm Nicky.
I'm Davey.
So perfect, we have Nicky Davey here. I like you guys. You are fun. You're a great band to listen to. I saw them at the W Hotel up on Hollywood, and fantastic. Everybody just was rocking and loving you guys. I got a CD, I heard it, and I was like, this is fantastic. This is fun. This is old school kind of funk, kind of groove, my kind of music. How do two white guys come up with that?
That's a good question, huh?
Well,
it started, well, I think the thing is, we met, what, 3 years ago?
like
Four years ago. Probably 4 years ago. And I'm from Nebraska, and I'm a transplant, and he's been just this grown, homegrown LA kid. And I wasn't really, with me and my upbringing, it was definitely a lot different. I was into Hendrix and Stevie Ray and all like the Neil Young stuff, Nebraska, I don't know. And then this kid was just I'm like straight Stevie Wonder.
I'm like Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yeah.
all that good groovy stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And he was, just this crazy talented singer. And I play guitar and keys, and we just started kind of hit it off writing, and we just kind of made this sound. And obviously I had roots. My dad always, made me listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Anything super, all the classic Stevie stuff, Doobie Brothers, anything super crazy and funky. And so, yeah, it was just a good match.
Right off the bat, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy because I come from more of my dad's a voice coach, so but he teaches classical. So I had that, and then also the hearing all the soul. So I don't know, I just like good music, tasteful music,
And being a vocal coach, you worked with Michael Jackson and quite a few people, right?
Like, Jackson. We'll name drop a couple.
Just go ahead, it's alright.
Jackson's,
Thelma Houston.
Oh, wow.
Thelma Houston's she's on Love Fire.
Oh, is she? Is that her?
Thelma
Yeah, we
Houston
actually got her
on
to
Love
sing
Fire.
on that.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
You gotta check out Love Fire. We have to
It's a little track.
We'll show you a link to their music. It's just fantastic stuff. And you have great horns, and they are horns. They're not synths.
Yeah, not synths.
I can tell.
Yeah.
And I love the bass line. It's got a great groove. And you've played bass on some few things, huh?
He plays bass on every record.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it came to the point where, it literally was like this almost like Steely Dan type project.
Yeah.
That we're, the main writers. But the only thing we didn't really, we don't got a lot of money. We can't pay a lot of session people, so we kind of did everything ourselves. So it came to the point where I'd play the bass and I'd do the keys.
The only person we outsourced was the
vocals.
drummer. We outsourced the drummer.
Wow.
So we just had our.
So everything I'm listening to are you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
everything.
great.
So
That
we just kind of put it together, and I don't know. We somehow it made something.
Yeah.
It works.
Nicky Davey mixtape.
But then it became a problem. Yeah, we got tons of mixtapes, but yeah, it became that thing with us where it was just two guys, and we're like, how can we do this live?
Yeah.
That's been probably the biggest thing until recently. We actually got a great group of guys
And
together.
who's in the group?
We got Andy Butler on keys. He's been a big addition to us.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Being that he's gonna really help us out in this writing standpoint. He brings a really cool element. So into like Sam Cooke and just Otis Redding, all this classic stuff that I'm just really into. Bill Withers.
Oh, Bill Withers.
And so we're he brings this really cool element with his piano style, but he loves hip hop too.
He loves hip hop music. He loves Drake.
Yeah,
which is awesome, but it's
he's cool.
different.
He's really cool. And we got Andrew Tyler.
Oh,
He's
really?
another Nebraskan, which
drums.
Andy is from Nebraska too. I don't know.
The whole
Some
band.
Midwest boys.
The whole band is from Nebraska, and I'm the only one from.
That's
So
true.
good to you.
I don't know. I met.
He's an outcast. We don't like
You
him.
bring in the funk.
I bring the fun.
Yeah, that's true.
They bring the cold winters,
Oh,
and
no,
I bring
no.
that steady.
That's why they're such good musicians. What do you have
cold
to do all
winters. You don't have
winter,
anything to do.
Yeah, and I think we bring all the thick bodies too.
Yep.
All that big Midwestern beef, But I think it is funny because we just added a bass player, Bert Gay, who's he was actually from my high school jazz band, and he was out at USC, and so it's funny, like the tie through us being Cornhuskers. Literally, we just know everyone out here. Like it's really weird, and I'll show up at Husker bars, like and just see people from high school, and it's just really weird.
That's
it's just
wild.
such a tight knit community, and happen to be some good musicians.
Yeah,
in
like
it,
he
so.
sees more people than I do, and I grew up here. I went to Hollywood High School.
You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, and I don't even see as many people as he does when we go out.
You know what? I think it's a Midwest thing where,
Everybody moves here.
yeah, everybody moves here, but you're so friendly. You're just like,
Yeah.
hey, how you doing? You know, where
Totally.
some people are like, I don't want to talk to that person.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Huskers, I travel back and forth to Chicago. A lot of times I drive with my equipment, and one time we had to go to Nebraska, and we were gonna go through around a Saturday, and I was like, it's a football game, man.
Uh-oh.
There was no place to stay. I think
Yeah.
I forgot where we had to stay. It was something like 30 or 40 miles away because there were no hotel rooms.
Sure.
I mean, it's a national event.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You,
Yeah.
I mean, you get about half
That's all
the
they got
state,
to do.
you know.
I mean,
It is funny in
Drink
Lincoln. In Lincoln, when the game is going on, I mean, there's only like 160,000 people maybe, and the stadium holds about 90,000. So you think, I mean, half the city literally shuts down. Like if you were sick, I mean, forget about it. You could rob a bank and probably be all right because all the cops are probably at the game too. So it's a really bizarre kind of thing back there.
Yeah, it
but,
is.
You know, so and that's where I come from, and I guess that's what to this band I brought was all that Nebraska energy, and you know I knew players and just to surround him, and we just built a supporting cast, you know, for
That's
his boy.
great. You know what? As long as it works, right?
oh yeah.
That's
all
the
that
main
matters.
thing. It's
Yeah.
about cohesion and getting the right energy going, and it really sounds like you guys have tapped into it. So that's fantastic. All right, so let's go to your music. So Earth, Wind, and Fire. I can hear that. Thelma. I mean, I could hear that in there. Steely Dan. I hear so much. It's how do you decide on that first groove, that first beat that gets things going? Do you write first? Do you put the music to it? How does that work out for you guys?
We do it all different types of ways. Whatever is the best way to create, you know, whatever draws inspiration, I think. You know, sometimes we start with a chord progression. Sometimes we'll start with a bass line.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll start with a drum beat.
And I think I think Nick is just such. When I first started working with him, he's such like an idea machine that it was almost like, you know, we were pumping out songs. Like we have so many songs to this day that just never made it in the box because we just went through so many, or we got, you know, it just didn't, or we didn't capture it for some reason, and we kind of realized, you know, okay, we got to start, you know, catching some of this stuff, you know. And
Slow it on
but
down a little bit.
it'd be weird. It was weird because when we would kind of first start, we could pump out a song in a day and then do another track, and sometimes it would just happen with me messing around with 3 chords, and then him, you know, singing on it, and then all of a sudden he gets a pen, makes some lyrics, and there we go. I had a track. Next day I'd hop on the keyboard, mess around, and so we just had, I don't know, we just kind of were able to really work, and I think both compromise with each other because we're both pretty strong individually.
Yeah, like Dave it's funny because Dave likes to write like folk country music. That's like his strong suit.
Really?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's
That's
just
cool.
what I.
No, it's awesome.
You know.
It brings that. But it's funny when we make music together. You know, because if I did my music by myself, I would be completely soul, like like almost like as far back like D'Angelo soul. Like
Oh, wow.
Real deep groove soul. You know, but when we work together, it creates the sound, and that's what's creating the sound is that his country ass and. You know me, like
I mean,
we create this sound.
I mean, I think it brings
a great way.
it brings a cool thing. I mean, the whole thing is us, you know, collaborating in that. I think we're both strong writers in our own right, without each other, and then we kind of came together. And so when you ever have 2 heads like that, you can kind of bump heads. Like we've gotten in arguments about, you know, what should be on the record, what should be this, you know, for a while.
Fights?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Some bad ones, you know. I mean, Dave,
Not like
he's the
swinging.
nicest person in the world.
Oh, please.
Like, the nicest kid, you know. So he can't really get mad. It's more like me I raise my voice, you know.